Hi, I'm Rob Realeader, and I'm the founder and president of Western Protection Alliance. Today, I'd like to share with you the origin story of why I started Western Protection and where we've gone to since. In the early 80s, dating myself a bit, I was born and raised in North Bay, Ontario, and I saw a picket line of a postal strike back mid to early 80s. And as an early teenager, I was struck by the incident and the violence, and that there was an elderly lady trying to mail a letter going across a picket line, and she was getting verbally accosted and then physically, and it made me pretty angry. And that stuck with me for years as a thing of what people shouldn't have to go through as citizens and as a society. I kind of brought that forward to our labor dispute business. And when I founded Western in '94, we wanted to provide a full service offering to clients facing labor disputes that allowed them to operate their business safely and securely and within the law. And so in that frame, we started providing labor dispute management services, security consulting. We developed contingency plans for companies and organizations that faced labor disputes, and we provide the evidentiary footage on picket lines to document activity and to deter things that I saw occur back in the early 90s. And we also started to provide replacement workers in jurisdictions in Canada that allow it, and executive protection for management and their families who are deemed potential risk in labor disputes, strikes and lockouts. Sometimes they're quite adversarial environments with a lot of passion, a lot of emotion, and to provide that peace of mind is really important to our clients and their families. So we started providing labor disputes, again, projects across Canada. We started working a lot in the heavy industrial sector, particularly mines, and we developed a nice client base throughout Canada in a lot of off-the-grid locations to provide those services. And some of the examples, to talk old war stories, client called us on a Sunday of a May long weekend, got a message that they were facing a labor dispute province-wide and they needed services immediately. We were able to muster 20 people just within a few hours. We flew that team in and we were able to garner injunctive relief to limit the scope and size of the pickets within 24 hours. And that was a real win for us and for the client. We then participated in that labor dispute, managing it, providing strike security, executive protection, videography on the picket line for a number of weeks until the labor dispute was settled and the client ended up with a very favorable contract. When the preparations for the labor dispute side are done, the clients are empowered and find a lot of strength in that, and they take that and convey that a lot of the times at the bargaining table. So that was an important story, an important client, and we ended up doing multiple work with them, multiple labor disputes with them over the next number of seasons and contract expiries. We then moved into more mining safety and security work, where we provide security and safety services for mining environments, typically off-grid projects. And that really lends to our expertise on expeditionary type projects where people are very capable. They have that law enforcement and military background, and they're able to hit the ground running. They don't have to be handheld to provide the projects. They are able to do it and manage it very effectively. So we've been very successful in that. Again, that also is project-based, and we do those across Canada. To look at long-term relationships with the client, we develop First Nation partnerships then with a number of First Nations across Canada to both have a mutual understanding of the project and then have a long-term revenue stream as well as long-term partnerships. And that's a big part of my role now in providing the Western services. Thanks for listening and hearing our origin story and walk down memory lane. If you'd like to reach out to me with some consultations on our labor dispute management services, our safety and security for mine sites or partnerships, feel free to reach out to me at realeader@westernalliance.ca or info@westernalliance.ca, or our telephone number. It's 604-271-7475. And don't forget to like and subscribe this video.